Thank you everyone for being here. This is a very auspicious time to do these sort of things. According to the scriptures, you are at the level of munis. You know munis? Rishis and munis. They get together for reading Shastra, for chanting mantras. Right? So everyone can do this, even the little ones. I saw very nicely how they're clapping, some of you chanting along. So I remember a few years ago, maybe 3 years ago, I went to Kurukshetra, where the Gita was recited. I have been there before, but this time, you know, Kurukshetra is very developed. Some of you have gone. Mr. Prime Minister has done beautiful work, parks, beautiful, so nice. It was like, you know, spiritual Europe or something. Beautiful, clean, everything. And I was so inspired to see, you know, every 5 minutes, I'm not joking, every 5 minutes somebody will come and clean the area of Kurukshetra, Yotisho, the place where the Gita was recited. There was one gentleman there, he comes with a big broom every 5-10 minutes because the legion. So I asked him, why are you doing this? He says, oh, he spoke to me, I think in Hindi or something. But he said, cook, very happy. He was explaining, very, very happy. Push. He was telling, I understand, you don't that. So, every 5 minutes he's doing this, not because someone is watching him, but because he feels happy. And then he sees some leaves fall, and he's thinking, oh, good, now I have to go and do something. Big place. So I was very inspired by this gentleman who's doing simple, generally if you're sweeping, you think, who's this fellow? He's so happy. Took a few photos of him. So I got so inspired and I said, okay, today I'm going to read the whole Bhagavad Gita. The entire Bhagavad Gita. It took me around 2 hours or something, 2.5 hours, not long. So I read the whole thing. And after reading, I understood why he's so happy. Because anybody who has to do something with Bhagavad Gita feels something special in your heart. It's like, where were you from originally? Gujarat. I don't know, I have tasted Gujarat food. I don't know exactly which are the favorite Gujarat preparations, but I'm sure you have your favorite with some kind of rotis and heavy food, very tasty. And you have some amazing sweet. Gujarati sweets are famous. No? Your eyes go like. But every time you eat that, you feel, oh, this is so nice. And you know which one is better, which one is a good preparation, how, quality. So in the same way, the Bhagavad Gita has some special taste, special sweetness. And applies for young, and applies for the older, applies for those who are here, and those who left. Also. So today, on behalf of Kirtan, so we are doing this ceremony of reading the scriptures. In the Gita also it is said that every spiritual or religious ceremony should be accompanied by the singing of mantras, like we did, reading of the scriptures, and also prasad. Prasad, no? You say prasad? Very important. Like, there are some other things. So what we're going to do is we're going to read, you see the Bhagavad Gita, it's like a mountain. And the peak chapter, the peak of the mountain is chapter 9. This is the heart of the Bhagavad Gita. So we're going to read this. And the simple lesson that Krishna gives in this chapter is that the most important thing in your life, and you know that this is true, it's love. Correct? And generally, when we see a heart drawn in a t-shirt or in a hat or in a jacket, what does it mean? I love Perth. Right? Have you seen those t-shirts?
Yeah.
I love whatever, Perth, my family, my car, my mobile phone, whatever. Facebook. So heart means love. So this chapter talks about the heart of our existence. You see here, we see these fortunate children. And the parents, who are the parents here? Malti, you're the parents there. You have to work every single day of your life, pretty much, for them, correct? You have to cook for them every day of your life, yes or no? Yeah. Why do you do that? Because of love, correct? Because of love. So love is the most powerful thing in this world. In the same way, you have the heart. The heart is the strongest. but also the most vulnerable. I don't want to spoil the atmosphere, but if somebody shoots you, right, in the heart, Hogya, finish, right? Heart is very, very important. So this chapter is considered the heart of the Bhagavad Gita. Why? Because it talks about spiritual love. Not a love that lasts only 60 years, 80 years, 100 years, but a love that's eternal. That's what Krishna is explaining here. So I will read the Sanskrit, and I will read the translation, okay? And then we can discuss briefly, right? Let me take the time. Yes, Prabhu is also checking the time. I know, we're connected. So this is in Sanskrit. Some of you may understand some words, because it's similar in Hindi, or I guess in Gujarati, some words. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Idam Tute Guhyatamam Pravakshami Anasuyave Yanam Vijnanam Sahitam Jagyatva Mokshase Shubha. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "My dear Arjuna, because you are never envious of me, I shall impart to you this most confidential knowledge and realization, knowing which you shall be relieved of the miseries of material existence." So whoever hears this is free from any material suffering. Raja Vidya Raja Goyam Pavitram Pavit Idamuttamam Pratyakshavagavam Dharmam Shushukam Kartum Avayam. This knowledge is the king of education, the most secret of all secrets. It is the purest knowledge, and because it gives direct perception of the self by realization, it is the perfection of religion. It is everlasting, and it is joyfully performed. Ashradadana Purusha Dharmasyasya Parantapa Aprapyamam Nivartante Mrityu Samsaravartam. Those who are not faithful in this devotional service cannot attain me, O conqueror of enemies. Therefore, they return to the path of birth and death in this material world. Mayatatam idam sarvam jagaravyaktamurtina matstani sarvabhutani nachaham dishavashtita. By me, in my unmanifested form, the entire universe is pervaded. All beings are in me, but I'm not in them. Nachamatstani bhutani pashyame yogamashwaram buddha vinchanna bhutashto mamatma bhutta bhavana. And yet everything that is created does not rest in me. Behold my mystic opulence. Although I am the maintainer of all living entities, and although I am everywhere, I am not part of this cosmic manifestation, for myself is the very source of creation. Yathakasha stito nityam ayu sarvatra goman tatta sarvani bhutani matstarinti padamya. Understand that as the mighty wind blowing everywhere rests always in the sky, all created beings rest in me. Sarvabhutani kanteya prakritim janti mamikam kalvashaya punasthani kalpado prishayamiham. O son of Kunti, at the end of the millennium, all material manifestation enters into my nature. And at the beginning of another millennium, by my potency, I create everything again. Prakritim shramavasthavya vrishami puna punaha buddhagramam imam kritsnam avasham prakritar vasham. The whole cosmic order is under me. Under my will, it is automatically manifested again and again. And under my will, it is annihilated at the end. Nachamam tani karmani nivandati naranyaya udashina pat ashina shaktam teshukarmashu. O Dhananjaya, all this work cannot bind me. I am ever detached from all these material activities, seated as though neutral. Mayadakshena prakriti suyate sacharacharam hetunanena kaunteya jagadiparivartate. This material nature, which is one of my energies, is working under my direction. O son of Kunti, producing all moving and non-moving beings. Under its rule, this manifestation is created and annihilated again and again. Avajananti manmuda manushim tanumashritam param bhavam ajananto mama buddha maheshwaram. Fools deride me when I descend in the human form. They do not know my transcendental nature as the Supreme Lord of all that being. Mogasha moga karma, moga jnana vichekasha, raksha simha sulim chaiva, prakritim mohinim shridaha. Those who are thus bewildered are attracted by demoniac and atheistic views. In that deluded condition, their hopes for liberation, their fruitive activities, and their culture of knowledge are all defeated. Mahatmanas tumam partam daivim prakritim ashritaha bhajantyana manasu yattabuddhadimaveram. O son of Prita, those who are not deluded, the great souls, are under the protection of the divine nature. They are fully engaged in devotional service because they know me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, original and inexhaustible. Satatam kirtayantom yatantas chadridavrata namashyantas chamam bhaktya nityayukta upashyate. Always chanting my glories, endeavoring with great determination, bowing down before me. These great souls perpetually worship me with devotion. Yanam jagyena chakrani dayanto mam upashyate ekatwena pikatwena bahuda vishote mukham. Others who engage in sacrifice and the cultivation of knowledge worship the Supreme Lord as one without a second, as diverse in many and in the universal form. Aham katur aham jagya swadaham aham aushadam mantraham aham evagyam aham agni aham bhutam. But it is I who am the ritual, I the sacrifice, the offering to the ancestors, the healing herb, the transcendental channel. I am the butter, and I am the fire and the offering. Pitaham ashayagatu matadatta pitamaha vedyam pavitram omkara rikshama jayu evacha. I am the father of this universe, the mother, the support, and the grandson. I am the object of knowledge, the purifier and the syllable Om. I am also the Rik, the Shama, and Jayu Vedas. Katti Rivarta Prabhu Shakshi Nivasha Sharanam Sudri Pabrava Pralayam Shanam Nidanam Nijamaviram. I am the God, the sustainer, the master, the witness, the abode, the refuge, and the most dear friend. I am the creation and the annihilation, the basis of everything, the resting place and the eternal sleep. Kapamyaham aham varsham nigrinhami utsrijami cha amritam chaiva mrityuscha sat ashak chahamarjuna. O Arjuna, I give heat and I withhold and send forth the rain. I am immortality, I am also death personified. Both spirit and matter are in me. Traividyam mam samapaha tuttapapam jagyadishti swargatim patavyante tirpunyam ashada surendra lokam ashnanti divyam divideva logam. Those who study the Vedas and drink the Soma juice, seeking the heavenly planets, worship me indirect, purify of sinful reactions. They take birth on the pious heavenly planets of Indra, where they enjoy godly delights. Idam bhukta sarva lokam vishalam sinepyum yamatta lokam vishanti evam tri dharma nanupapana kathagatam kama kamalam. When they have thus enjoyed vast heavenly sense pleasure, and the results of their pious activities are exhausted, they return to this mortal planet again. Thus, those who seek sense enjoyment by adhering to the principles of the three Vedas achieve only repeat birth and death. Ananyas chintayantoma jayana arupashate tesham nityabhijuktanam yogashamam bahanyam. Those who are always worshipping me with exclusive devotion, meditating on my transcendental form, to them I carry what they lack, and I preserve what they have. Epi anya devata bhaktam yajante shradayam vitaha tedimam eva kanteya yajante vidipurvakam. Those who are devotees of other gods and who worship them with faith actually worship only me, O son of Kunti. But they do so in a wrong way. Aham hi sarva jagyanam bhukta cha prabhudeva cha nattumam abhijananti tattvena tascha vandite. I am the only enjoyer and master of all sacrifices. Therefore, those who do not recognize my true transcendental nature, they fall down. Yanti deva pratam devam pritim janti pritim yata buddhani janti buddheya janti majjahino pimam. Those who worship the demigods will take birth amongst the demigods. Those who worship the ancestors go to the ancestors. Those who worship ghosts and spirits will take birth among such beings. And those who worship me will live with me. Padram pushpam palam toyam jume bhakta prayachati taraham bhakti paritam ashnami prayatat manaha. If one offers me with love and devotion a leaf, a flower, a fruit, and or water, I will accept it. Jatkarosi dadarjarashnoshu jatjuhoshi dadasija jattapasya sikampeya tatkuru shamarat pamam. Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer or give away, and whatever austerities you perform, do that, O son of Kunti, as an offering to me. Suva suva palai devam moksha sri karma bandhanai sanyasya yoga yuktatma vimuktavam upasyashyasi. In this way you will be free from bondage to work and its auspicious and inauspicious results. With your mind fixed on me, in this principle of renunciation, you will be liberated and come to me. Samoham sarvabhuteshu nanedvashustina priya jevayanti tumam bhaktya mayite chapyaham. I envy no one, nor I am partial to anyone. I am equal to all, but whoever renders service unto me in devotion is a friend, is in need, and I am also a friend to him. Apichetsu darachara bhajate mamana niva sadureva samandaya syamatya vishtoshisa. Even if one commits the most abominable action, if he is engaged in devotional service, he shall be considered saintly, because he is properly situated in his determination. Idam dharmakam shashochantu nigachati kampeya pratijani name bhakta pranashati. He quickly becomes righteous and attaining lasting peace. O son of Kunti, declare it boldly that my devotee never perishes. Mamhi patareta shrita yepishu papachona espiyo vaishas tatashuna Vijanti param. O son of Prita, those who take shelter in me, though they be of lower birth, women, vaishyas, merchants, sudras, workers, can attain the supreme destination. Kim punar ramana punya bhaktararshayastata anityam ashukam lokam imam pratyavajashvamam. How much more this is so of the righteous Brahmanas, the devotees and the saintly kings. Therefore, having come to this temporary miserable world, engage in loving service unto me. Manmana bhavamadbhaktu madjaji mamnamashkuru mamme vaishyasya konjuktaivam atmanam matparayana. Engage your mind, always in thinking of me. Become my devotee, offer obeisances to me, and worship me. Being completely absorbed in me, surely you will come to me. Om Tat Sat. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Okay, so chapter 9, the peak of the Bhagavad Gita. You know, when you go high on a mountain, here in Perth there's not many hills, but there are hills, right? We live up there, we have a ISKCON temple in the hills of Kalamanda. So when you go up, right, every time I have to come down to the city, there's a curve. And from that curve, I can see the whole city, right? I'm the same as anybody, but because I am up there, I can see. So the Bhagavad Gita, particularly chapter 9, takes us up there. So when you are up there, you can see the river, and you can see the skyline, yes, the tall skyscrapers. I mean, buildings here are not so tall, which is a good thing. But it's beautiful, no? The river and all that. Beautiful. King's Park and all that. So in order for us to see, we need to go to a higher level. So when we read Bhagavad Gita, we see three things. This is the simple message of the book. We see three things. We see who we are, right? If I ask your driver's license, I don't know if the ladies carry their driver's license, but the men generally they carry driver's license, right? It's a very manly thing, you know. You forget your wallet, you know. The ladies, if they forget their purse, then the world stops. Where's my purse? What happened? But the man, the wallet, the credit card, the driver's license. So when you take the driver's license, you see your photo, your beautiful photo for 5 years or 10 years, whatever you. That's your temporary identity. It will last only for a few years. For a passport also. In India now you have your PAN card, Aadhaar card. Even I have. You don't have any. They put the photo there. So all these documents, they are called how? ID. Identity document. But that identity only lasts for some years. Even if you are very good people, very healthy, no smoking, no drinking, no this, no that, so maybe you can live long time. But even if you live 100 years, you know what happened when you live 100 years here in Australia? You know what happened? You know what happened, right? Yeah, exactly. Even the little ones know this. The Queen will send you a letter. So, even if we live 100 years, one day it's going to stop. That license is useless. Document useless. Right? You don't take it to the funeral, your passport or your card, it's useless. So Bhagavad Gita shows three things. The first are spiritual identity. Document, the identity document is temporary identity. Now you are very youthful, young, beautiful, right? Every day you see yourself in the mirror, yes, no? Right? Every day, no? And you see, Steve, Steve is there, right? See, you go into a program, you dress nicely, right? Very colorful, like that, But one day, all that is going to go. But we don't think about it. So the Gita says, the first thing, we are not the body. We're a spirit soul. It's okay. Look at the mirror. But remember, I am not that. This is temporary. I'm carrying this shirt, sweater, whatever. But tomorrow you surely will use something else. Right? The ladies especially, they have 150 saris, to select from. Right? And the colorful dupattas and, men generally is just one color. White, that's it. Bas. Maybe yellow. The ladies, so many colors. But it doesn't matter how many colors you put on, that's going to stop. So the first thing that the Gita teaches us to see who we are. We are spirit soul. We don't get old. It's just external. Just like the clothes sometimes get old. Holes and wearing and the color goes fade. So the first thing is to see the soul. The second thing is to see where do we come from. I ask him, where do you come from? He said, from Goa. Right? I know Goa very well. You know why? Because I've never been to Goa. So I have been to many places, but not Goa. My spiritual master told me when I was a young, handsome brahmachari. I said, I'm going to Goa. And he said, why are you going to Goa? You know brahmachari? Brahmachari means disciple. Like a monk living in the ashram. Shave up, sleeping on the floor, cleaning the whole day. So I said, I'm going to Goa because I like the beach. He said, brahmachari doesn't go to Goa. So I've never been to Goa. But Prabhu says I'm coming from Goa, but that's just a few years ago. You were born in Goa and you came from there. But what about 100 years before? Where were you? Do you know? Nobody knows. I'm not flattering you here, but those who are born in India, as you know, right, are very lucky. You people are very lucky. I'm not saying, I can quote Shastra, no? Bharate bhumite hoima, manusya janma dhara. Okay? Those who are born in India have the responsibility. You know what's your responsibility? To save the world. Honestly, to save the world. And now, that Indians are everywhere, right? We went to New York maybe 4 years ago, you know? Plenty of Indians. We went to Dallas, we went to Miami, we went to different places. New Jersey, so many places. Plenty of Indians everywhere. You know, temples, everywhere. You know? I feel like I'm in India, in the middle of India. Same dresses, same food, same songs. But the purpose of having taken birth in India is to give spiritual knowledge to the world. But you have Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Krishna Bhagavan, the Vedas. This is a treasure. The world doesn't matter what they create, they cannot stop old age, disease, and death. The first thing that the Bhagavad Gita says in chapter 2, you don't die. Where do you find that? I went to university. There's no faculty that teaches you that. But the Bhagavad Gita teaches that. So the Gita shows us three things. You, the real spiritual self. Two, where do we come from? The real source. I come from my father. My father comes from his father. He comes from his father and his father. But who's the original? Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Aham bija pradapita. Pikta maha. I am the great father of everything. So he shows us who we are, where do we come from, and the most important thing. And that's why we are here today. Huh? Yeah, you're a Muni. You're a Rishi. Where do we go? That's a question. Where do we go from here? You know, where are you going to go after this? Maybe you go for do some shopping, or maybe it's something you're going to buy on the way. But where do you go from here? Where do you go? At the end of the day, where do you go? Home. Home. Exactly. Yes or no? I'm not making it up. I didn't plan this. You are going home. So when we finish our business here, I don't mean only here in this beautiful place, but when we finish our business in this body, in this life, where are we meant to go? Home. Where we belong. I had a few classes with the young ones. Malti. And we told a story. We told a story. Because all little ones, from 4 to 14, 20 plus. I told a story. I asked, very enthusiastic, one of the best groups I ever had. I said, have you ever got lost? Have you ever got lost? Well, a few of them put their hand up. I got lost. And each one told the story and the fear that they had when they got lost. And I told them the story that when I was 7 years old, my mother took me to America, so we lived there. And because I was, a naughty child, like generally boys are, so I hid myself, right? You know, when you go to the shops and there's this round display of all the jackets and things, I hid there just to scare my mom and my auntie. And then they walk away because they couldn't see me. And when I came out, they were not there. And I panicked. I didn't speak English. 7 years old, 6, 7 years old. I was totally lost. I still remember. Almost, 50 years after. Still remember. Where's my mom? The guard came, people came, they grabbed my eye. I was panicking. Where is my mom? Where's my shelter? So in the same way, now we're having a good time. Perth is very beautiful, no COVID here, right? Other places you see all the masks, it's like a It's like a movie. You know when you see on YouTube, when you see the news, everybody, South America, China, Russia, America. Huh? You don't put the mask, they take you to jail. Here we are in heaven. Look, you can see beautiful faces. But sooner or later, old age, disease, and death will come around. And then, what do? Just like our little boys and girls, they told the story when we got lost. We look for protection, for father and mother. Yes, because you know, father and mother will take care of you. They will give you food, they will give you shelter, they will give you all what you need. Why? Love. This is this chapter message. Because of love. Krishna Bhagavan, Godhead, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, presents in the Gita and the Bhagavatam the essence of the Vedas, the essential thing in the spiritual life. Not only in the spiritual life, also in material life. It is, there are studies. You know who are the happiest people in the world? Not the richest. Okay, not the richest. The happiest people in the world. I'm not saying this is Harvard and Yale University. 70 years, and still the study goes on. Many scientists already have died. And many of the people that they were studying already died. 70 years, long time. And the study continues. But so far, the result shows that the people who are happier in this world are those who have good relationships. Okay? Good relationships. So it's very important that we have good relationships. You are here because Pitaji had relationships with you. And some of his relatives invite others, and then that family attachment, that support is there. And on one hand, somebody may feel a little sad, but on the other hand, we're doing this ceremony for his benefit. The idea is that if we spiritualize those relationships, husband, wife, father, mother, etc., then we will have not only material happiness, but spiritual happiness. Okay? So thank you very much, and sorry if I took longer. I'm very honored to be here. I feel like I'm in India. I live in India, so maybe it was Indian in my previous life. I'm originally from South America, Dokin America, I think so. So thank you very much, and I hope that we continue to do this. Prabhu said that, I said, you have to do some presentations, and he says, but I'm not expert, he said, no, we're not expert. I said, whoever has the microphone is expert. We give the microphone to Dante, and she will take over. So thank you again, and I stop here. So we pray all together that Pitaji is in an auspicious place, and if there's any difficulties, he continues on his progress to eventual, final devotional liberation at the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of God, Krishna Bhagavan. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama